Hello friends, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to study one more important topic in the unit of torsion, and that topic name is composite shaft. In the earlier video lecture, we have studied about the shaft which is made up of a single material and which is subjected to torsion at its end. So in this particular topic, we will study the composite shaft. Composite means the shaft which is made up of two different materials which is of a different radius and are rigidly sleeves into each other. So let us start into this topic. First of all, a shaft is made up of composite section. Means that composite section means that shaft is made up of two different materials and which is of a different diameter. That is, one type of the shaft is rigidly sleeves over another type of the shaft. If that both of these shafts are of a different diameter, at that time one shaft can be sleeved into the larger diameter shaft. At the time of sleeving, the two shafts are joined together in such a way that the composite shaft behaves like a single shaft. When two different diameter shafts are rigidly sleeved with each other, at that time after joining, that both of these shaft or that shaft is behaves like a single shaft. So after it is rigidly sleeved into one another, the total torque transmitted by composite shaft is shared by two shafts depending upon the diameter and the elastic properties. Means whenever that two different shafts are rigidly sleeved in each other, at that time whatever the torque which is transmitted by the shaft which is shared by both of these shaft material or shaft diameters, and that sharing of the torque which is transmitted by the single that composite shaft which is depending upon the diameter of the shaft and the elastic properties of the both of these shafts. So, and in this case, whenever there is a two composite sections are there, at that time whatever the angle of twist is there or the torsional deformation is there, that torsional deformation or that angle of twist is same for both of these shaft material. So that is one of the criteria or one of the case in this particular composite shaft, that angle of twist is remains same for both of these sections. So in the below figure, you can see that there is a longitudinal section is there and there is a circular section is there. So there is a larger diameter. You can see the one shaft is there which is of a larger diameter, and the smaller diameter which is diameter is less than this outer shaft. That's why that particular shaft is rigidly sleeved into that larger diameter. So there is a one shaft is which is of a diameter small d, and another shaft that is outer shaft which is of a diameter capital D. So that is a longitudinal section is there, and this is a transverse section of the composite shaft. So onto this particular concept, we will take one problem of a composite shaft. So I will read first of all the problem. A composite shaft consists of a copper rod 40 mm diameter enclosed in a steel tube of 50 mm external diameter and 5 mm thickness. There is no relative motion between the shaft and are coaxially fixed. Determine the shear stress developed in copper and steel rods if both the shafts have equal length. Assume GC is equal to 40 GPa, GS is equal to 80 GPa, and torque is equal to 1400 Newton meter. So this is a problem of a composite shaft. Definitely there are two different materials are used and two different diameters. One type of the material is copper which is of a 40 mm diameter, that is the inner diameter or inner shaft is copper which is of a 40 mm diameter, and enclose means that outer shaft is made up of a steel tube which is of a 50 mm diameter, means it is the external diameter, and that copper shaft is rigidly sleeved into a steel tube, and the thickness of the shaft is 5 mm. So, and there is no relative motion between these two different shafts, and that both of these shafts are coaxial fixed. So in this problem they ask about that how much stresses or shear stress develop in each material or in each rod, and both the length of both of these shafts are equal. So in this problem, our aim is to finding out the shear stress developed in the both of these, that is copper and the steel rod. So GC means modulus of rigidity for copper is 40 GPa given, and modulus of rigidity or shear modulus GS for a steel tube it is 80 GPa, and the torque applied is 1400 Newton meter. So for the simplicity, there is a figure is I have shown here, and you can easily see that inner shaft is a copper which is made up of copper material 40 mm diameter, and outer shaft that is a steel tube which is a 50 mm diameter, and the thickness of this composite shaft is 5 mm. Outer material you can see that steel, and inner material made up of copper material. So this is a longitudinal section, and this is a transverse section, transverse circular section of the composite shaft. So first of all, we are going to finding out the polar moment of inertia about longitudinal axis, and normally we are considering the longitudinal axis is a ZZ axis, and means that polar moment of inertia for a longitudinal axis we will find out. So that for first material, that is a copper, so J copper means polar moment of inertia for copper material. So we have the formula pi by 32 into d raised to 4. So diameter of the copper shaft is 40 mm. So let us put into this formula pi by 32 into 40 raised to 4. So after solving this, we will get the answer 251.327 into 10 raised to 3, and that unit of the polar moment of inertia J is mm raised to 4, and the radius diameter is 40. Obviously the radius of that particular inner shaft is 20 mm. So likewise you can calculate the polar moment of inertia for a steel tube, that is a outer shaft. So let us use that same, because if whenever you are going for this polar moment of inertia for outer, at that time there are two diameters, that is the outer diameter or inner diameters are there. So for that reason this is behave as a hollow section. So this steel tube is behave as a hollow section. That's why the polar moment of inertia in this case there are two diameter, outer diameter and the inner diameter. So J steel, so again same formula pi by 32 into d raised to 4. So instead of this t is the capital D, and this is the small d. So capital D is the outer diameter given 50 mm, and raised to 4 minus inner diameter of this composite shaft is 40 mm, so 40 raised to 4. So this is a hollow section, that's why the formula becomes like this. So you can solve this and finding out this answer for J steel, and the radius for that particular outer shaft is 25 mm. So as we are knowing that the total torque which is applied for the composite section, it is a combination, or it is a summation of torque applied into the copper and torque applied into the steel tube. So capital T is the total torque which is equal to TC, that is the torque at copper shaft, and which is applied at the copper shaft, and this TS is the torque which is applied at the steel tube. So we already given in the problem that total torque, so total torque in both of these sections are 1400 into 10 to 3. So TC means torque at copper and plus torque at steel. So that will be the equation number 1. So as we are knowing that torsional deformation in the composite shaft is equal, or angle of twist is equal in the composite shaft. So likewise the angle of twist is nothing but theta C. So theta C angle of twist for copper shaft, and theta S is angle of twist for steel tube. So we have the formula by the rigidity criteria. So that formula we already know that theta C is equal to LT divided by GJ for copper and LT divided by GJ for steel. So putting that values here, because G is known, for GC is known, polar moment of inertia is known, and length is equal for both of the shaft, that's why it is equal, so it will be cancelled. So our ultimate equation becomes TC is equal to 0. After solving this, only unknowns are TC and TS, the torque at copper and torque at steel tube. So the torque, our equation will become like TC is equal to 0.347 into TS, like so equation 1 and equation 2 So this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So after solving this, both of this equation, we'll get the value of TS and TC. TS is the torque at steel tube and torque at copper shaft. So after getting this torque, so we will finding out that shear stress develop at copper. So shear stress at copper shaft is equal to, we have the formula as per the torsional equation. So TC into RC into JC. So C is the copper metal, that's why torque for copper, the radius for copper shaft, and the polar moment of inertia for copper shaft. So that's all these values we already knows, and already this torque for copper metal we already determined. So putting all these value, only that is unknown is the shear stress for copper. After solving this, we'll get that answer at 28.7 MPa. That is shear stress for the copper material, copper shaft. So likewise, you can finding this shear stress in the steel tube. So whatever the shear stress develop in the steel tube, so we can also determine by using the same formula, that is TS into RS into JS. So TS is the torque for steel tube, RS is the radius of steel tube, and J is the polar moment of inertia for a steel tube. So already TS we already determined, so that value you just put here, and radius is also knows that steel tube divided by the polar moment of inertia is also we calculated. So putting all these value, we'll get the answer 71.73 MPa. So that is the shear stress developed into the steel tube. So both of these values we already determined, shear stress developed in the copper material and shear stress developed in the steel tube shaft. So that's it. This is the problem. We studied here the composite shaft concept and that related problem of the composite shaft. So that's it here. Thank you very much.